Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Freedom marchers, freedom family, freedom lovers, and freedom fighters. How y'all doing this beautiful Friday morning? I am in my personal truck on my way to my chiropractor. You know what I'm saying? Gotta take care of yourself. Gotta take care of my spine. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, how y'all doing this morning? I was supposed to do this live stream yesterday, but I had some issues, and basically doing it this morning now. Please hit that like button. Please hit the like button. When y'all come up in here. Kelvin Black was good. It's cold as a bitch, man. It's 42 degrees. 42 degrees right now. The moon is still out. And it's cold as a bitch. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I wanted to get in this real quick. This whole Kamal Harris shit, right? This whole Kamal Harris thing. But I want to go back to 2020. Where she did an interview. Where they asked her if she was going to do anything specifically for black folks. All right? Now, this is after her and Biden were already elected. They asked her if she was going to do anything policy-wise for black people. And she kind of scoffed at that and said, I ain't doing shit specifically for black people. I'm paraphrasing. So, there you have it. That was, 4 years ago, going on 4 years ago? And she told the world that she's not doing anything specifically for black people. Basically saying it doesn't make any sense. All this, that, and the third, right? She kind of took the Barack Obama position. The position of, she's the president of the people, not just black folks and all this, that, and the third, right? But we know what Obama did for specific groups during his presidency. And I can assure you that Kamala would do the same thing. But she's been in a lot of hot water, right? She's been in a lot of hot water, especially amongst black men and black people in general. They want to just say black men, but there are quite a few black women that are turning their back on Kamala Harris as well. And again, she's been in hot water because basically there's been this big thing about, is she even black? And they can't forget about how she said she wasn't going to do anything specifically for black people. And, she's losing the support of black men. And then it didn't help that Barack Obama came out and chastised black men, basically calling them misogynists and, you don't want to be led by a woman. All this bullshit. Right. When he came out and did that, it got worse. It got worse for her. Right? Now, I hope y'all understand that I'm speaking as a statist because it'll just help. It'll help move this thing along. Right? We all know that I don't believe in the left-right paradigm line. I know for sure that this is just kabuki theater. It's all bullshit. But for the sake of helping people understand the reality of the situation, I'm going to speak from the statist mindset. All right, so that's what I'm doing. So Barack Obama came out and chastised black men for not supporting Kamala. That made it worse for her. Now, did they do that on purpose? Did he know that would happen? And so, you have to ask yourselves a question. Does anybody really want Kamala Harris to be president? I mean, come on. So this is what happens. In response to that, she decided to come up with, well, I don't know actually if she decided it, but, you know, the campaign decided to come up with this whole thing about, you know, policies for black men and what she gonna do for black men when she becomes president. Now, this is where her thinking that black men are stupid comes in. And actually, unfortunately, a lot of us are. A lot of us are stupid enough to believe that Kamala Harris, Kamal Harris, is actually going to go to bat for black men, let alone black people in general. And why just black men? Why just black men? Why would they do this? Right? How much more obvious can you show? How much more obvious can your pandering be? This is clear pandering, right? Clear pandering after basically falling on your face because of the Barack Obama. This is a response to the Barack Obama shit. A pandering response, right? So why make it so obvious that you're pandering? By specifically outlining what you're going to do for black men. Is it because you think we're stupid enough to fall for that? I believe that that's the case. And again, she would be right. Many black men would be stupid enough to fall for that, but not enough, right? There are a lot of black men that are intelligent enough to know that the Democrat Party ain't really for them, ain't really did shit for them, ain't going to do shit for them. And now they are waking up to the realization that neither party is going to do shit for them. So a lot of black men are going independent, right? A lot of black men are claiming to go independent, like the clown shoe Lucas. He claims he's an independent, but he goes to bat for Kamala Harris. He supports Kamala Harris. He thinks Kamala Harris is the last hope for black folks. How is it that what has Kamal Harris done to show us that she's the last hope for black people? What has she done? But he, like I said, he claims to be an independent. He claims to not be a statist. Yet, this is what we get. He is the perfect example of some of those stupid black men. And understand that the clown shoe Lucas is also believing that black men are stupid enough to believe him. The black men are stupid enough to believe that, and he's helping push this narrative that Kamala Harris is going to do anything for black people. He actually believes that Kamala Harris is for reparations. Even though she switched up on shit more than goddamn than anybody, right? No one has switched up more than Kamal Harris. And so, why is it that he's pushing this bullshit? Why is it that she believes in her campaign manager and all these people? Why do they think that they can just say, "Oh yeah, we got this shit cracking for black people, black men. Yeah, we're gonna do this for black men. We're gonna do that for black men." And some of the things that she plans to do, I mean, really, is it substantive? Legalizing marijuana. How is that good for? How is that going to help black men? How is that going to push black men forward? How is that going to help black men progress by making marijuana legal? Right? How is that specifically for black men? Is it only black men that smoke marijuana? And ironically, she locked up a lot of black men for marijuana and then laughed about having smoked marijuana. I'm pretty sure if you do some digging, you can find a way to have her in a lot of trouble for that. But, you know, no one's going to really do that, right? And the statute of limitations on that shit's probably up anyway. So, but listen, how is that going to help us? And then some shit about sickle cell and all this sickle cell research. I mean, again, how is that specifically for black men when sickle cell mainly affects black women. Yes, black men can have the trait and all that shit, but black women suffer from sickle cell anemia more than black men. So again, not to say that, they don't deserve the help. Yeah, if you want to help figure out sickle cell anemia and all this, well then, that's fine. But don't say that it's just for black men. Why? How stupid do they think we are? And then businesses. When you guys got to understand. Listen, y'all got to understand that all this shit that she's talking about is not just for black men. But that's the narrative they're pushing to make you believe that she's for black men, when none of this is for black men, right? Legalizing marijuana. Well, lots of different people smoke marijuana. Sickle cell anemia, doing the research and health concerns about high blood pressure, not just sickle cell, diabetes, high blood pressure. Well, not just black men suffer from sickle cell anemia. So she has no policy strictly for black men. They're just telling you that. These are things that she's already trying to implement, or says she's going to try to implement if she becomes president. It just so happens that, will some black men benefit from it? Yeah, absolutely. But to say that it's specifically, no, she's not doing anything specifically for black people. She's not doing anything specifically for black men. That is all bullshit. She is the president of the people, right? She is Barack Obama 2.0. Well, she's going to be a mix of Barack Obama 2.0 and Joe Biden 2.0, because she's just going to continue his administration, even though she came out and said, look, let me make it clear, my administration is going to be different from Joe Biden's. But what have you done during this administration to set yourself apart from Joe Biden? What have you done? When have you shown us that you are not just a heel for Joe Biden? You haven't done shit. And I don't want to hear shit or see shit about, vice presidents can't do nothing. Well, I'd like to point you to Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney did plenty as vice president. So did Joe Biden. Joe Biden did plenty as president. And so did Mike Pence, quietly. But all these people, they've done things as vice president. Kamal Harris has not set herself apart from Joe Biden during this administration. And if she knew that she was going to be running for president, well, why didn't she start doing things during the administration to stand out in a positive way? Oh, that's right. She didn't know that she was going to be running for president. Or did she? All right. Let me see. Yeah, Kelvin Black, all bullshit. Duke Midwest says, she said, and others, and not on that contract, read more of the list. She started off with just black men. She did do Cali wrong. What's this shit? Yeah. So, listen, the bottom line is this, man. The bottom line is this. She thinks that black men are stupid. She thinks we're stupid enough to believe that this last move that she has tried to pull with the pandering is going to gain her support from black men. And it might gain some. And yes, some black men are stupid, but the ones that are stupid are already stupid. They were already stupid enough to support her as though she was for black people, right? Unfortunately, a lot of black men believe that Kamala Harris is pro-black. She's not. Kamala Harris is not pro-black. Her actions don't match her words. And I don't even believe that she's ever said she's pro-black. As a matter of fact, she actually indicated that she's the opposite. And through her actions and her lifestyle, she has proven that she's not black. I mean, that she's not pro-black. Look at her husband. That right off should tell you something. Is there anything? She can have a white husband. I don't give a hot fuck. But she has not lived her life as a black woman. She has not lived her life as a black woman. Not as an American black woman. Not as the queens that we have that live their lives of black women today. Yeah, exactly, Kelvin. Traditionally, Texas Fall says traditionally are behind the scenes. Yeah, but there are actions that vice presidents can take. Yeah, they're behind the scenes, but they actually do things. And if they wanted to show some work, if they wanted to show that they gotten things done, that they had gotten done quietly during their administration, they can always bring that to bear. They can always bring that to the forefront. Like, look, as vice president, I did this, I did that. I did this initiative, because vice presidents can do a lot of shit. Vice presidents are senators. Did you know that? Vice presidents are tie-breaking senators. So there are things they can do. They can introduce bills. They can start initiatives with funds that are already out there for them to do things with. There are a number of things that vice presidents can do. Black men would love black women for USA, but she didn't come from where. Exactly. So that what's Texas Fall? What are you talking about? What's my requirement? I'm selling my sister out. Kamal Harris is not my sister. Kelvin Black says they are, but she said on The View she was involved in all the decisions that was made. I mean, I'm sure, yeah, because she wants to set herself apart from Joe Biden, but then she wants to act like she got shit done during her vice presidency when she didn't do shit. Behind the scenes or in front of the scenes. All right. Texas Fall is probably one of those stupid black men that I was talking about. Listen, I'm selling out Kamala Harris. She's not my sister, number one. And why don't you talk about all the black men she sold out in Texas? I mean, in California. How about we talk about that? How about we talk about the black man that she held beyond his sentence, or the number of black men she held behind their sentences, and the black man that was on death row that was proven to not need to be in death row, and then she held him longer than she was supposed to. See, Kamala Harris is the sellout. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Let's what? You have nothing of substance to show that Kamala Harris is a sister. Kamala Harris is not a sister. All right. Yeah. And it's even questionable if she's black, but that's not even relevant, right? Whether or not she's black. But her actions indicate that she's not for black men at all. Okay, so Texas Fall has decided to hit me with a false dichotomy or a false choice. See, this is the type of thing, this is the type of logical fallacy that exposes your limited bandwidth. Now, he says, or he says, so do you like Trump or hate Kamala more? Those are my choices. You obviously don't haven't been following my channel for any length of time. I don't support Trump or Kamala. You see, only people like you, like statists such as yourself, believe that there are only two choices, right? You are the type of person that believes in selecting the lesser of two evils. Well, I believe that, or I know that when you choose the lesser of two evils, you're still choosing evil. Yeah. Choosing the lesser of two evils is still choosing evil. I choose not to choose evil at all. I don't choose evil. You understand what I'm saying? I don't vote for Democrats or Republicans. That's how I roll. I don't support any of these motherfuckers. There you go. That hates bigotry? What are you talking about? Address what? I just addressed what you said. You hate bigotry. You got me. I don't understand what you're talking about. Am I voting? Why would I vote? Yeah, you're clearly new to the channel. No, I don't vote. Because let me tell you what happens when you vote. Let's say you want your favorite person to be president, and they're going up against the person you just hate the most. You don't like this motherfucker, but you're voting for your person. When you submit a ballot to choose your person to be your president or to be your ruler, you're submitting that if your person isn't chosen to be ruler, you'll still submit to the ruler you don't like. Yeah. You're participating in the system that tells you, even if you don't like the person that it is selected to be your ruler, you'll still submit to that ruler. Yeah. That's what voting does. When you vote, you're saying, if the vote doesn't go my way, I will still acquiesce. I will still submit to the outcome. Whether you're choosing a president, whether you're choosing what food to eat. Like, so if we decided to vote on whether we're going to have lamb for dinner or cricket meat, and the vote goes towards cricket meat, you got to eat the cricket meat even though you don't like it. You don't like the cricket meat. It makes you throw up. It makes you sick to your stomach. But because you decided to vote on whether or not you wanted to eat cricket meat, you have participated, and you have then said, hey, if the vote doesn't go my way, I'm going to eat that cricket meat. Thus, I don't vote. Yeah, I know all the cliches and the tropes that come along with telling people that you don't vote. Oh, well, if you don't vote, you don't get a say. No, motherfucker. It's the opposite. It's the opposite. If you choose to vote to put a motherfucker in place that ends up fucking everybody over, you're the one that's the problem, because you installed that bitch. You helped put that motherfucker in place. So the people that choose the rulers, the people that say, hey, let me install this ruler right here, you're the problem, not the person that doesn't choose that. I like to always go back to my example of the mafia. You're in the mafia, right? You're an associate, or no. Let's say you're a made man. You're a made man in the mafia, and you go to your capo, right? And you got a homie. So you got two people that are made men, and they have a capo that they kick up to, that they answer to, right? But you, as one of the made men, you decided that you wanted to bring an associate to the capo and say, hey man, let's put him to work. Let's put him on the street, see how he does. You know what I'm saying? I think he's going to be good for the organization, right? That's what you said. So what did you just do? You vouched for this potential associate that you're asking your capo to put on, to give a chance. Let's give this guy a chance. You know what I'm saying? I think he's going to be good for the organization. And then you have me, the other made guy, who said, nah, I don't know about that. But me and the other mate guy, me and you, we're best friends. Yeah, we know this guy, but I know he's a fucking idiot. I know that he's weak, and I know that if he gets rolled up by the popo, he might roll on us. So I'm like, nah, I'm not vouching for this dude. Nah, I'm not doing that. No, you can have that. I'm not vouching for this guy. You can vouch for him. I'm not doing it. So the capo decides, all right, I'm going to trust your judgment. You vouch for him? All right, let's put him on the street, see what he does. So the main guy that brought this guy to the capo, you voted for him. Yes. You, the main guy that said, I'm a voucher for this guy, you voted to have him placed into the organization. Whereas I withdrew myself altogether from it. I said, no, hey, I'm not vouching or not vouching. I'm staying out of this. So guess what? When this new associate that became an associate because you went to your capo and vouched for him, when he fucks up, gets pinched, and rolls on the organization, who's the capo gonna whack? Is he gonna whack the motherfucker that vouched for the guy that rolled? Or is he going to whack the motherfucker that decided that he wasn't gonna, no. He's gonna whack you, the motherfucker that vouched for him. You get the cement shoes, you sleep with the fishes. It's the same thing with voting. So when y'all tell me, if you don't vote, you don't get a say, or no, motherfucker, you don't get a say. You're the one who vouched for this bitch. And when she fucks us over, I'm looking at you, kid. Don't look at me. No. You and all these people that participated in the system, that whether they voted for her or not, y'all are the problem. You voters are the problem, not the people that don't vote. Because the people that don't vote, we have an understanding like, hey, man, I know that either way, it doesn't matter, right? Because there are way too many things going on. There's all these so-called checks and balances. There's separation of powers. Everything that Camel Toe or Trump wants to get done, they have to go through Congress and the Senate to get it done. And they do have executive privilege where they can, perform executive actions and all that. But that shit can be reversed as soon as another motherfucker come in. There's only so much Camel Toe or Trump can do to do anything for anybody. But it's not even that. It's not even that. Because if Camel Toe becomes president and all those promises she made, she goes back on them, that's on you. When she does the opposite and fucks us over, when Trump does the opposite and fucks us over, when Trump fucks us over, because he's done that during his presidency with Operation Warp Speed, with the pandemic hokey pokey, and that $6.2 trillion bill he signed that put us further into debt, the quantitative easing, giving the Federal Reserve free reign to do whatever the fuck they want. That was Trump. Bump stock bans, all that shit. Civil asset forfeiture, which he's pro of. He is a proponent of civil asset forfeiture. Yeah. So guess what? When they fuck up, it's on the people that voted for them, not on me. See how that works? Unleavened Evans says the most improper job of any man, even saints, is bossing other men. No one in a million is fit for it. At least all those who seek the opportunity. Yeah, I agree. It's hard to imagine more stupid or more dangerous way to make decisions than by placing those decisions in the hands of people who pay no price for being wrong. You get it. Texas Falls says, so this is all about you not voting? Be the change, run for something. What are you talking about, man? Run for something, like become a politician? then why am I talking? You don't know what the hell I'm doing. You don't know what I'm doing at all. It's called weapons are vote. God of Being says you're also a part of the problem by doing nothing about it. No, that's not true. There will be nothing to do if you motherfuckers didn't give all this consent to be governed. If you guys didn't continue to put all your faith and energy into a system that does not give a fuck about you, there would be nothing to do. Again, you don't know what I'm doing. You don't know what I'm doing to remove myself from the mire and the muck that you guys continue to allow build. So it's not up to me to pull you out. Because as you can see, even though I'm presenting all this to you, you're still trying to find a way to blame me for your actions. So I'm not going to force you to remove yourself. What I'm going to do is work on removing myself and my family and build my own small community and try to remove ourselves from the system as much as possible while you guys continue to allow it to control you and to screw you over. And at the same time, try to open as many minds as possible and get them to understand that there are more options than just two. There is an option of sovereignty. Because in the Constitution, it says you're only governed by your consent. So, it says it in there, consent of the governed. You're being governed because you're giving your consent to be governed. All you have to do is remove that consent. So, me giving you information, that's me doing something. Go check it out. Remove your consent. Now, there are a number of ways you can do that. There are a number of ways you can remove your consent. By making yourself a little bit more independent, making yourself less reliant on the system, being self-sufficient. Start with that, right? Get some land, get a good water source, make sure that you can hunt and fish nearby, make sure that you can provide for yourself, put up solar panels, a generator, a septic tank. Be more self-sustainable and self-sufficient. Get some animals. Start a crop. These are things that you can do to further remove yourself. Will you still have to pay property tax because, extortion is real? Yeah, you still have to do that. Yeah, even though it's your land. It's not really your land because of eminent domain. But what you're doing is showing that, hey, you're showing yourself and you're showing other people there is a way other than just relying on the grid, relying on the government to provide for me. You own your house outright. You own your land outright. All you got to do is pay property taxes. But in some states, you don't have to pay property tax. So look into that. So in the states that you don't have property tax, you can have your property, your land, and not have to worry about property tax. So now you own your land completely. Except, of course, with eminent domain if they decide to use it. That's an unfortunate reality that we have to deal with until we don't. And the reason we have to deal with it right now is not because of the people that choose sovereignty and choose not to vote. It's because you motherfuckers continue to participate in the system and give your consent. That's on you, not on me. So don't try to point the finger at me saying that I'm the problem. Oh, well, you ain't doing nothing. That's not an argument. That's not even an argument that you can think to make because you don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Just like I don't know what you're doing. But I do know by your words that you're voting and that you're giving your consent to be governed. So miss me with the bullshit. Miss me with that. No, you moved to Canada. Duke Midwest. So when we want to get on code, he said that it's running. Yeah, it's crazy. Fight what, Texas Fall? So you, the voter, is telling us to fight. Fight what? Do you even know what you're fighting if you decide to fight? Exactly, unleavened leaven. Voting is a suggestion box for slaves. So what are you fighting? What are we going to fight? What are we going to fight? There are many ways to fight. Anyway, that's all I got for now, y'all. Thank y'all for coming through and blessing me with this conversation. For your right. Gerrymandering and police brutality and poverty and corporate greed. Yes, I agree that we should fight that. But all that isn't in place because people like you vote. People like you continue to support the system. People like you continue and participate and have faith in the system. These things are happening because of y'all. Yes, I agree. We should fight gerrymandering, police brutality, and poverty, and corporate greed. But these things are only in place because you guys allow it to be in place. No vote, no power. What power do you have when you vote? We've been voting for hundreds of years, and we still have gerrymandering, which is only possible because of voting. They gerrymander, right, to distribute the power of the vote as they see fit. So this power to vote that you're talking about, they can lessen that by gerrymandering, and they still do it. So gerrymandering is only possible because you vote. What? That makes no sense. You're complaining about gerrymandering, which is only possible because of voting. They gerrymander ostensibly to distribute the vote as they see fit. So if they see that one district or another has too much power that could destroy their possibilities of winning something, they'll redline to make sure they split that vote and weaken it. Come on, man. I can't make this up. Exactly, unleavened leaven, Evan. Anyway, much love, like, share, subscribe, and let's keep marching forward toward freedom, people. Listen. Understand that when you vote, you're the one that's vouching. So when the person you vouch for fucks up, you sleep with the fishes, not me. Bottom line. I'll holler at y'all later. Let's keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace.